What up, Ray?
Nothing.
How you doing?
Trying to get paid for YouTube.
What? What do you mean? You got a subscription or something?
Yeah, I do.
How many members you got?
Not much.
Huh? Hey, you gotta start somewhere.
Yeah, I know.
Or more than 50. Yeah, man, we're just, are you gonna do some of these missions with us?
Yeah, I'll do them.
Okay, we're both out of, Snacks and Army.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing, and then we're gonna, go right back to it. We
Okay.
just made, over $60,000 in 2 missions.
I just made 27,000 in one mission.
Hell yeah. So you know what we're talking about.
Yep.
I guess it was one of these movies.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. You remember my son, though.
Yeah, I remember your son.
Okay. Yeah, he's playing with us.
Junior.
Yeah, did you graduate?
Yeah, I graduated last Friday.
Hell yeah. Good job, man. So what's next?
I'm starting a job in July.
What kind?
Road construction.
Huh? Road construction?
Mhm.
Okay, what does that detail?
Well, it pays up to $23.50 an hour to start out.
Have you already been to EMT school and stuff?
I took up schooling whenever I was a senior. So I already have all my certifications.
Okay.
And they told me that I need a 10-hour OSHA card, so I already have that. So I don't have to go through that again.
Who's you been listening to? Because they're giving you some hella good advice.
Mhm. And I already got all this shit done.
Some people never even get to that point, you know. Some people, can't do what you're doing.
Nope.
Badass, bro.
Mhm. I plan on.
Have you seen anybody die yet?
No.
I heard that's the worst part of the Death Valley. Everything else is pretty much empty.
I mean, throughout school, 2 of my friends passed away. No, my one friend, he had a heart transplant 5 years ago, and here he was in the hospital for a week, and like we made this group chat over Snapchat, and he put on there, he's like, oh, I have to go to the hospital. He had a picture of him going in, and I was like, oh, alright. Oh, well, ended up like he was in there for like maybe 3 weeks, and they said, oh, everything's going well, you're gonna leave. Thursday he was actually gonna leave. Well, here everything started shutting down on him, so here there's a whole bunch of my friends went over to see him, and I went over, and next thing I know, I see everyone coming out bawling, and I'm like, oh gee, I wonder what the hell's going on. Well, here they said he passed away of a heart attack. And then after 3 weeks later, my one friend, I actually played football with him, and I knew him real well. Great, he was a good kid. Like, he would not say anything bad about anyone. And he was out with his friends. They were actually camping. I don't know where they were camping at, but apparently it was close to his house. And all I know is that he was drinking, underage drinking, and apparently got cold that night, real cold. And my one friend, hey, I'm gonna go into the car and warm up. Come on, you should go too. And he's like, no, I'll be good. Well, he wouldn't. They tried getting him to go back into the car to warm up. He wouldn't do it. So, after that all went through, my friend woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning and looked out, and he's like, okay, where is he? Couldn't find him anywhere. So he was looking through the woods trying to find him, yelling his name, couldn't find him. No response from him, so we went to his house saying, hey, I can't find your son. And the dad and the brother went out looking for him, went to his aunt's and said, hey, is he here? And they're like, no, unless he's in the basement, because we always told him, if you're afraid to go home, if you're out drinking and you're afraid to go home, just come to the basement and you can stay overnight. They went into the basement, nowhere to be found. Then went home, so they went out looking for him again, and it was a huge search party. Well, one of my friends actually found him in a creek. And see, they can't find any footprints, no slip marks. They were wondering if he walked across it and somehow tripped and just drowned there. But here, when they found him, he was still breathing somehow. And they were transporting him to the hospital. And I guess it says, do not turn the heater on when you're transporting someone. Just wait till they're at the hospital. They said, you know what, we know the kid real well. We're turning the heater on because they said he's in shock real bad. And the doctor kept coming back to the hospital, well, they got him to the hospital, and he kept coming back into the room and letting his parents know, hey, everything's going well. Well, about 10 minutes later, about maybe a half hour later, all they heard was beep, and they're like, oh my god, what happened? Well, they tried shocking him and everything, nothing. And he said, well, he passed away. Well, I was on my way to work, and I got the text message saying, search lost person at the address, and I was like, who in the world would be out this early in the morning? Because I was actually on my way to work, and I was like, who would be out this early in the morning lost? And I'm like, well, hunting season isn't even in for spring. So I said, well, I don't know. So, got to work, my cousin came up and told me that he died, and I'm like, what? No. I said, he's a good kid, he's strong too, so I highly doubt that. Well, throughout the day, I was like worrying about it. I started bawling at work about it. One of my friends that lived like 10 minutes from me, she's a manager, and she said, go on break. She said, you're upset. Well, I was supposed to leave at like 6 o'clock that day, and they let me go at 5 because they're like, go ahead, leave. Well, I ended up getting on Snapchat, and they said it's official, he passed away. And I said, oh my god. So we went to school that day. It was just shit show. And I said, I cannot be here. So I said, it's too bad. And the principal brought us in there talking to us, and he's like, well, the viewing was like on Wednesday, and like a Friday we had off, and then a Thursday was the funeral. Well, the viewing we went to like right after school, and then like the funeral was during the day. It started at like 11 to like 1, and here my principal's like, oh, we're not transporting a bus or anything. Well, so like me and my cousin, I signed her out, and I said, we're leaving. I said, we're going to this funeral. We went to the funeral, and we ended up, I said, I couldn't even sit through that. That's how bad it was. And I said, I came home and I said, I can never go to that funeral. I said, I mean, we've all, May 11th, we all went kayaking in memory of him and my other friend. And people were like, oh, just take your life jacket off, take your life jacket off. I'm like, no, I kind of don't want to because I don't want to end up like him. And here, we ended up getting somewhere and it was like 30 foot deep, and I'm like, good thing I have my thing on. And then last Thursday, my friends were like, okay, we're going to wear a life vest because we know the water's going to get high because it's supposed to rain. Well, it started downpouring, of course.
Hold on, Laura. Eric, what do you want to do? You want to back out and restart the mission? Eric. Eric.
Junior!
Can you want me to